Good day, viewers. Today, we will be discussing and learning about the Mesoamerica intellectual and scientific revolution. Are you ready? Let's go, guys! The term Mesoamerica is derived from Greek and means Middle America. It refers to a geographical and cultural area that extends from central Mexico down through Central America, including the territory which is now made up of the countries of Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. It is therefore seen as partly in North America and encompassing a large part of Central America.
What is the Mesoamerica intellectual revolution all about?
It is to transform society through critical thinking, evaluation, and creating appropriate rules for equal opportunity. The Mesoamerican or the Mexican-American civilization has a very sophisticated culture and practices in science. They have a number of codices of all, but there were only 4 codices that survived up to date, where the majority were destroyed by the Spanish imperialists.
Who is the key figure in the Mesoamerican Revolution?
Some of the famous ancient civilizations that developed in this area include the 4 major civilizations are the Olmecs, Incas, Mayans, and Aztecs. These cultures developed complex societies, reached high levels of technological evolution, built monumental constructions, and shared many cultural concepts.
The Olmec were the earliest known major civilization of Mesoamerica, or pre-Columbian America. It is thought that early Olmec culture appeared around 1600 BC and it flourished from 1200 BC to 400 BC in the tropical lowlands of south-central Mexico, in the present-day states of Veracruz and Tabasco. It is regarded as the first major Mesoamerican civilization, and it laid many of the foundations for all subsequent Mesoamerican cultures such as the Maya and the Aztec. Many of the hallmarks of Mesoamerican societies, like ritual bloodletting and the famous ball game, were initiated by the Olmecs. The Olmec civilization is thus known as the mother culture of Mesoamerica. The Maya. The ancient Maya, a diverse group of indigenous people who lived in parts of present-day Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras, had one of the most sophisticated and complex civilizations in the Western Hemisphere. Mayan civilization lasted for more than 2,000 years, but the period from about 300 AD to 900 AD, known as the Classic Period, was its heyday. During that time, the Maya developed a complex understanding of astronomy. They also figured out how to grow corn, beans, squash, and cassava in sometimes inhospitable places, how to build elaborate cities without modern machinery, how to communicate with one another using one of the world's first written languages, and how to measure time using not one but 2 complicated calendar systems.
The Inca civilization flourished in ancient Peru between 1400 and 1533. And their empire eventually extended across western South America from Quito in the north to Santiago in the south. It is the largest empire ever seen in the Americas, and the largest in the world at that time. The term Inca means ruler, or lord, in Quechua, the main language of the Inca Empire. It was used to refer to the ruling class of the empire, but the Spanish, who conquered and destroyed their civilization in the 16th century, used it to refer to all the people of their empire. The Inca Empire rose to prominence in the 15th century to become the largest empire in pre-Columbian America. The Inca were great architects and engineers, and they constructed some of the most marvelous and renowned structures of any civilization. A prime example of their extraordinary engineering ability is the site known as Machu Picchu, which was voted one of the new 7 wonders of the world. The Inca built advanced aqueducts and drainage systems, and the most extensive road system in pre-Columbian America. They also invented the technique of freeze-drying and the rope suspension bridge independently from outside influence. It is important to mention that Inca accomplished all this without the use of the wheel, a proper beast of burden, and a riding system. The Aztec civilization was a prosperous Mesoamerican people that settled in the central and southern territory of present-day Mexico City between 1345 AD. C. and 1521 D. It became the dominant culture of the region until the arrival of the European conquerors. The term Aztec comes from the word Azteca, which means people from Aztlan. Aztlan is a legendary place, which the Aztecs referred to as their ancestral home. The Aztecs arrived in the Valley of Mexico and built one of the largest and most powerful empires in the pre-Columbian Americas. The Aztec civilization was one of the pre-Columbian peoples best documented by archaeologists due to the large quantity and quality of the finds. The Aztec civilization was characterized by the architecture, the religion, and the astronomy. Apart from their military might, the Aztecs were highly skilled engineers who built the marvelous city Tenochtitlan on one of the most difficult terrains. Their engineering achievements include the construction of a double aqueduct, a massive dike, causeways, and artificial islands. Among other things, the Aztecs had a number system, a calendar, great knowledge of medicine, and a rich tradition in poetry. They were also the first to implement universal compulsory education.
How did the revolution advance modern science and scientific thinking at the time?
The scientific revolution, which emphasized systematic experimentation as the most valid research method, resulted in developments in mathematics, physics, astronomy, biology, and chemistry. Some of the advancements are Maya hieroglyphs. Having evolved over a period of 1400 years, the Maya civilization was well on its way to develop a true science and was the most advanced of all pre-Columbian civilizations in that respect. Like the Olmec, Zapotec, and Mixtec, the Maya knew how to make paper and had a pictorial script, often referred to as Maya hieroglyphs. This allowed the Maya to record all knowledge on long strips of paper, which they folded harmonica-style into books. Maya astronomy calendar. The Dresden Codex, one of the 3 rescued Maya books, is believed to have been produced in the 10th century. It contains predictions of solar eclipses for centuries and a table of predicted positions of Venus, and bears testimony to the advanced stage of Maya astronomy. Maya cities had observatories with attached libraries. The lack of astronomical instruments was overcome by aligning stars with 2 objects that were separated by a large distance, a technique that achieved great accuracy of angular measurement. As a result, the Maya developed the most accurate calendar ever designed. Numeral system with place values. The greatest scientific achievement of the Maya, the position value number system with 0, was a very early development. Date inscriptions found in Monte Alban indicate that it goes back to a number system already used by the Zapotec. It was adapted for use with the calendar that regulated all life in Maya society. The invention of the rubber. The manufacture of rubber was one of the earliest inventions, documented by the use of a rubber ball in the ball game Tlachtli, a game played by Mesoamerican civilizations from the earliest times. Architectural design and usage. In architecture, the Maya were the first to use pitched ceilings in their buildings after the invention of the corbelled vault. Sanitation and sewerage system. Aztec city builders also understood the need for public sanitation. Public latrines were found along all highways, and to prevent pollution of Lake Texcoco, canoes transported the sewage from Tenochtitlan to the mainland every morning.
What controversies met the revolution?
Mesoamerican civilization is the second civilization that contributed a lot to the field of science and technology that we are using up to this day and age. The controversies that this revolution met are: decrease on food supply. Fragility of the food system destroyed the Mayans because of problems with agriculture. The poor weather as their greatest opponent, lack of usable land, and the poor condition of the soil. The 2 main ways to combat poor soil quality or lack of nutrients in the soil are to leave fields fallow for a period of time in a milpa cycle and to use slash and burn techniques. Deforestation. Deforestation to make lime stucco affected the weather system that causes different rainfall patterns and sunlight predictions. We can witness early signs of global warming because of human activities during this era. Till this present era, Mesoamerica is still combating deforestation. It holds one of the highest deforestation rates around the world. Spanish conquest. The revolution failed due to Spanish acquisition. The Spanish genocide created a huge effect in Mesoamerican civilization. The Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire, also known as the conquest of Mexico or the Spanish-Aztec War, 1519-21, was one of the primary events in the Spanish colonization of the Americas. End of the world. December 23, 2012, was the end of the world as Mayans predicted. Mayans are keen on time, and this issue raised massive chaos. It was even used as an inspiration to create the hit song 2012 by Jay Sean feat. Nicki Minaj.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy and learn something about the Mesoamerican intellectual revolution.